Welcome to Flash Tutorial 59, Cannonball, Part 1. When you finish the first 4 parts of these tutorials, you'll create this little game where you can select a angle for the cannonball, for the cannon. Then you can select a power for the cannon and shoot it, and the cannonball will take some kind of trajectory and hit the ship if you're lucky, and the ship will disappear, and the second one will come along. There are a total of 5 ships and the game's over. I'm only showing you when the ships are being hit. If you select the wrong combination of angle and or power, you'll miss the ship and get another chance. And if you complete an additional tutorial, Flash Tutorial 63, Cannonball Dressed Up, this is what you'll have created. There may be a slight sync problem with my video. It's because I have a very small RAM with this computer. This is a beginner's tutorial, and I'm going to start by opening a new FLA. I'm going to make the width of the stage 700 and the height 500. Keeping the background color is white. In order to follow this tutorial, you must be able to draw using these tools over here in this toolbox, like the rectangle tool and the pencil tool and that sort of thing. If not, check out the other tutorials and learn how to do that first. I want to click here and make it fit the window so I can see everything. Call this layer water and pick up your rectangle tool. Make sure that first frame is selected. Click here. I went no stroke. And for my fill, I want something to look like water. So I'm going to pick this blue, and I'm going to actually make this smaller, easier to work with, 50%. And I'm going to stick right on the line and draw a piece of water like that. Pick up my selection tool, and if I move it, see how I get that arch, and just give it some horizon, curve on horizon. Lock that layer, insert a layer, call it sky. Select the first layer. Again, I want no stroke, but I want the sky to be a bit darker. Let's try that. Again, pick up my rectangle tool. And I might not like this. I'm going to put my water, click up here, put my water up top. There. No, I'm going to make that. I'm going to double click on this sky, click on this fill, go up to this wheel, click this wheel, and take this up till I get a lighter blue. There, that's better. Okay, there's my sky, my water. And now I need some land. So click the water layer, which is now on top, insert one, call this land. And we're just going to, again, use the rectangle tool, draw a little piece of land here. Change the color, click on it. Selection tool, click on it, gets fuzzy, click here, find a nice sandy color for the land. There we go. Pick up your selection tool, and I'm just going to get rid of that sharp corner. Just bringing that in a little bit. Round this, grab this corner. There's my land. Lock in all those layers. Make this fit the stage again. While the top layer is selected, insert a layer, call it wheel, W-H-E-E-L, F as in front, and down on here, draw a wheel. Now I have one already drawn. I'm just going to paste it in. Here it is. And if I click on it and open my properties panel, You can see I'm using a brown and I'm having a stroke of 2. All I did was made a circle and put some spokes in it. I'll make that bigger so you can see it. It is. Once you have that made, highlight it all. Get the crosshairs, right click, copy it. Open another layer. Call that wheel rear. WHEELR. Make sure that's the only layer that's unlocked. And right click, paste in place. And while it's highlighted, just offset it a little bit and bring it up like that. Just offset it a little bit. So there's my 2 wheels. I might have went too far with that. Bring it back. There's my 2 wheels. Lock that layer. Select the wheel front layer, insert a layer, call it Cannon. And in here, we're going to put a cannon. Again, you're going to have to draw your cannon, but I'm going to just paste mine. And when you get that cannon, bring it in between those 2 wheels for now. Now you notice it's on a slight angle. I'll hide everything except the cannon so you can look at it. There it is. Okay, and it's on a slight angle. I'd say about 30 degrees. But I just drew it horizontally. I actually used a rectangle. I actually just used a rectangle like this. And then I modified that and then turned it. And how I turned it was with my free transform tool. Like that. And there's my cannon. I'm locking all my layers. Unlock the cannon layer using your selection tools. Make sure the whole thing is highlighted. Come up here, modify, convert it to a symbol. Make sure you have movie clip selected from the drop down menu. Put this, make sure this is in the center just in case we make some reference to it. But here, let's give it a name, CANNON_MC. Copy this name, right click copy just like you would copy. OK. If it's still selected, and it should be, if not, pick up your selection tool, open the properties panel. It tells us we have this movie clip called Cannon, and up in here paste that name, and that's the instance name we're going to use to write code with. Now, what's important about this cannon is, I'm just going to use my arrow keys and move it. Highlight it, move with my arrow keys. This cross, when we write the code later on to have this cannon pivot, it's going to pivot on this cross. So this cross has to be in line with the front wheel. So let's make the rear wheel disappear. Come up here, click there, that kills the rear wheel. Here's the front wheel right here. And move it with your arrow key. And if this is the front wheel, this should be in front of the cannon. So this got to go up here. There it is. Right? And let's see, there's the rear wheel. The rear wheel has to be down the very bottom, like that. Okay? So we have the rear wheel down here. If you look, there's the rear wheel. There's the cannon. There's the front wheel. So it's the front wheel I want to see. And as long as that circle, I'll highlight the cannon again. See that circle? You can see it there. That has to be on the center of that, so when it pivots there. Now, just to give you some idea, I'm going to unlock the cannon layer and just look in the properties panel over here, and we can see that cannon, it's about 48 by 31. So it's 48 from here to here, 31. So if I unlock one of those wheels for a minute and highlight it, the wheels are, the width is height around 38, 34, 34. Let's come up to the top here, Let's insert a layer. Call it buttons. B-U-T-T-O-N-S. And we're going to put some buttons on this for this cannon. So grab your rectangle tool, come down here, keep the black for the stroke, and let's pick up a crazy color, something here, this reddish orange thing. Let's double click on it, or click on it, open this pinwheel, and let's make it the very light of that. So go up, make it light. And with rectangle selected, rectangle, right here, hold your shift down, make a little rectangle, pick up your selection tool, highlight it, come over here, make sure this is locked, see, unlocked, locked, and make this 12 pixels, and when you press enter, both the height and width changes. So and now also, I think at the stroke here, I want to click on that stroke, the whole thing, go here, yeah, we'll leave it at that. Okay. Right click or selection tool, highlight it all, get the crosshairs, copy, right click, paste in place, and tab it over till you get a little gap between them. Right click, paste in place, and see how it's off. Just go Control Z and you can pick it back up again, and that's close enough for me there. I'm going to go do this, copy all these, copy them all, so you get the crosshairs, copy, right click, paste in place, and just toggle them right down to the bottom. And I'm going to pick up two more of them, just two of them this time, right click, copy, paste in place, and toggle them over using my arrow keys. And you can spend your time however you want to align these. Let's click on this one, just on the stroke, or just on the fill. See, I'm not double clicking, just click once, open this, click on here, get this pinwheel, and let's give it a little darker color. Okay, then let's do the same here, click on their pinwheel, a little darker color. Okay, and we'll do the same down here. This one I'm keeping, this one I want a little darker, click on here. Now remember, it was this, so click back here so I can get this color. Click here, pick this color back up, under the pinwheel, make it a little darker. Now we got 5 to do this time. Okay, this one, make it a little darker. This one, make it a little darker. And finally, select this and make it the darkest. There. So now I have these different levels of color. Lock that buttons layer, insert a layer, call it TEXT as in text, BTN as in the buttons text. Select that frame, pick up your text tool, and make a text box. I think that's somewhere around 8 points. I'm using 8 points. Verdana, you just go to the list here and you'll find Verdana. And once you have that selected, and I'm using that dark brown, the same one, that's my last one here, click this embedded, and we want uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and punctuation, and you can't read it, but this here up here is the OK button. Click that, and now make a box and write angle, A-N-G-L-E. I think that's angle and not angel, equals. Now this got to be static text up here in your properties panel. If not, open your properties panel. See, static text, and I'm going to make this just a little bit longer. Pick up the selection tool and put that right there. And I'm just going to click while I got the crosshairs, right click, copy that. Right click, paste in place. Using my arrow keys, I'm just tabbing it down. Double clicking on it and call this power. P-O-W-E-R space equals. And if you're not long enough, you pull this to make it longer. Now the last thing we want to do is make these movie clips. Unlock the buttons layer. Okay, click right in the center of this one, double click, and you'll highlight it. That's the way. You can also use your selection tool, but if you use your selection tool, you got the possibility of hitting the other button, and you don't want that. So just double click on the center, go up to modify, convert it to a symbol, make sure button is selected, and it is A-N-G, capital A, 1 underscore BTN. Copy that, right click, copy. Okay, while it's selected, open the properties panel and paste in that for the instance name. Double click on the second one, modify, convert it to a symbol. Make sure button is selected. Just click paste because you have this up in memory. If you haven't, then you have to write it and make this angle 2. Copy this, paste this up in the instance name. Then double click here, modify, convert to symbol, angle still selected. Again, paste, angle 3 button, copy it. Okay, and paste that. Click this one, double click, modify, convert to symbol, paste in what you have, keep the BTN, call this power, capital P, small w R, 1 underscore BTN, copy that, paste it up here as an instance name. The next one, double click, make sure they're both highlighted, modify, convert to symbol, paste in that name, make sure button is here. This is 2 powers. Copy that. Again, I'm going through this because of being a beginner's tutorial. If you're bored, then just skip through this part. Modify, convert to symbol, paste. This is our button 3 for the power. Copy it and paste it in for instance name. Modify, convert it to a symbol, paste, power 4, copy that. Pretty well got the routine now. And the last one, modify, convert to symbol, paste, power 5, copy, and paste. Okay, let's close that properties panel, lock all the layers, select the top layer, insert one. This is going to be our action script. AS is what I'm calling it. Select that first frame, open your action panel right here. If you don't have it, open up the windows, click here, action, right there, click that, and you'll open this panel up right here. When you open it up, it'll be floating like this in the air. Just click somewhere here and dock it up there because you're using it a lot. Now I'm a slow typer, so I'm going to paste in some code and give you the time to type to follow it. First of all, we're going to put a stop in. S-T-O-P, open, close, bracket, semicolon. That's so when we run it, it doesn't try to go to the next frame. Well, we only have one frame, but eventually we may have more than one frame. So we're going to make sure it stops there. This is the button, this first angle button down here. The first one, angle ANG1 underscore BTN, period. Add event listener, ADDEVNT small a, capital E, capital L. That will all turn blue. Open bracket, mouse event, capital M, capital E, period, capital C, capital L, capital I, capital C, capital K. All of that is blue in here, except for that stays black. And I can't tell if the period's black or blue, but that don't matter. If this is blue, it's right. There's a comma, and now we're going to do, when we press this button right down here, we're going to create a function, and the function is called angle1, ANG1. There's a closed bracket and a semicolon. This is the function, FUNCTION, that's the code. It will turn purple. That's the name of the function that we just give it, ANG1. You can copy that and paste it in there. Open bracket, event, EVENT, small letters, turns blue, colon, full colon. Mouse event, you can just copy that and paste it in here. Close bracket, colon again, void, VOID, that turns the same color as function. And we're doing two things inside of this particular function. I only want you to go to this point for now. So there's an open curly bracket. That's the function we're calling up. And I'm doing a trace statement, TRACE, that will turn blue. Open bracket, and in quotations I'm saying, quote, rotate 0, quote, then close bracket, semicolon. So when we press that button, the output panel is going to print this up. Just in case the Canon doesn't rotate, we'll know at least the button's working. And there's that Canon movie clip that we made, CANNON underscore MC, period, rotation. Rotation will turn blue. If you spell it right, equals 0. And that's a semicolon. And there's a close curly bracket. And that closed curly bracket may have come automatically for you. Now, if that's all you had now, and run it and press the button, nothing would happen, because 0 is the location that we actually have, or the rotation that we actually had when we built the Canon itself. So now what I want you to do is copy from here to there, not to stop, but all that. Once you get it there, hit your enter to get a space between them, like that, space down, and then paste it. And when you paste it, change ANG1, change that to a 2, change it to a 2 here, change it to a 2 here, change this rotate to 5, and here this rotation equals, up there it was equal to 0, we want it to be -5. So that puts you right here. Again, hit the enter sign, paste it again. This time make the 0 a 3, excuse me, make the 1 a 3, make it a 3 here, make this a 3, make this 10, and make this a -10, and again you have your curly brackets. So if you have all that in place, this is what you'll have. Come up to the control, click that, test the movie, test, and if we had something mislabeled, we would get an output statement here. If it looks all right to me, if I hit this button, nothing should happen, but this one here, the Canon should rotate up a little bit. It did. A little bit higher, back down to where it was. So that's what you should have. If you, for some reason, want them angles to be bigger, then you would make these values here bigger. This one here. Okay? That one, that one. You could go -10, then -20 if you want, but I chose those ones. And I'm going to do it once more, because I don't know if you noticed it. But the output panel, when I hit the button, says rotate 0. There's taking it all the way up to 10, back down to 5, back up to 10, and up here. So this is just to let us know if these didn't move and this worked, then we know our buttons are working. It's just the code inside of the buttons that are telling the thing to rotate. is what would be the problem. If we were tracing this and it didn't actually move, then that's the problem here somewhere. This is pretty long. I think that's enough. There's going to be a follow-up. It will be Flash Tutorial 60, Cannonball Part 2. I hope you learned something from this tutorial, and I hope you use what you learned.